Yes, you read that one right. We are doing another ranking video. Yes, I know you've all missed these. Love doing these ranking videos, and apparently you guys love these videos too, because my most popular videos on this channel so far have been my ranking videos. So I'm gonna take that as this is a gift. I'm gonna take that as I have correct opinions about things. Yes, as you guys can tell by the title, today we are ranking all of the Final Destination deaths. My plan before that movie came out was do a bunch of individual videos on all of the Final Destination movies, and I filmed all of them, but they've all been copywritten and blocked in every country. They are impossible to get around, which sucks because I do love these movies. I have opinions about a lot of these movies, so this may be a bit of a longer tier list video than usual. So I just thought, let me just do a tier list so you guys know where I stand when it comes to the Final Destination movies. We're gonna rank the accidents in Final Destination, the entire franchise. This tier list does include Bloodlines. Before we go into this, I think I should just preface it now what my official ranking is of the Final Destination movies. My opinion, the best Final Destination movie is number 3. it's 3. I will get into it when I get there, don't worry. But my official ranking, I would say, is the roller coaster, the plane, the Skyview restaurant, Bloodlines, I think is my 3rd. I think Bloodlines is number 3, you know. Then it's the highway. Then it's... what is the accident? The bridge. And then it's... the race car, the racetrack. Is that all of them? I think that's all of them. So before we start, I think I should just go through the tier lists with you guys. This is a list I found on the website. I did change the names of the tier lists a bit just to suit me more. The top tier is trauma, which so it tells me a lot of deaths are gonna be in this one. Tier number 2, I've put deserved. There are some characters, yeah. I don't think I have to explain that one either. I think there are some. Yeah. The 3rd tier, the mid tier, I've put exaggerated / unrealistic. I don't really know what about for the mid tier. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, meh. It's like, meh is the mid tier, you know? For my 4th tier, I've put unnecessary and just mean. I think there are some that are like, did we have to do all that? I think there are some deaths in this franchise where you're like, did we have to do all of that? Was that necessary? My god. And then bottom tier, I have CGI slop. Which I think predominantly that tier list will be some of the CGI deaths that are absolutely god awful, and Jesus Christ, why did we bother? But I also think there are some deaths that may not be CGI that will go in that because it's just slop. You know what I mean? So let's get into this tier list because I have a lot to say about these movies. Obviously we're starting with the original Final Destination, the Flight 180. So this tier list also has the premonitions included. Now, I think Flight 180, that was trauma, wasn't it? Because you think this was the first time I'd ever seen this movie. This was, what, 10 minutes into a movie? Think about it, like the first time you watch Final Destination, it was 10 minutes into the movie and the entire cast got killed, and then you're like, psych! Psych! Actually, they're not. Someone can see into the future. I think I'm going to put Flight 180 in trauma. I think it's going to go at the end of trauma. Now, we're going to go into the accidents of Final Destination 1. Now, first one, we're going to go in chronological order, obviously. The first one we have is Todd Wagner. Is that his name? Wagner? Yes. Who is the bathroom scene. He's the first death of the entire franchise. And with the doubt, this I think is top tier. I think it was unnecessary and just mean, I will say that. But because it was the first one, and we were all like, what are we watching right now? Because we didn't know what we were in for. But the first time you ever watched Final Destination, you didn't know what you were in for. So I'm gonna put Todd trauma in front of Flight 180, 100%. Okay. Breaking news. I'm only 2 tiers into this bloody fling. I've added a new tier in between because I was like, there are some deaths where I'm like, that was quite funny. Like, but I think it's just like the absolute shock of it. You start laughing. So I've added a new tier in between deserved and exaggerated / unrealistic, and I've just put comedy because I think some of them are so surprising you can't help but laugh. And I think this next one, which is Terry, who gets hit by the bus, is a prime example of this. The next one from the first Final Destination movie is Valerie, which is the teacher who is in the house. And this one, if you did not see my video I did on the first Final Destination movie, this death pissed me off. Because one thing about some deaths in Final Destination is just people just not looking. Like, the whole scene where her mug is cracked and she's walking, and I'm like, you're telling me you couldn't hear the drops hitting the floor, first and foremost? Then when she's over the computer holding the mug and it's dripping, you would have seen that. Oh. There's a part of me that's put her in deserved, I'm not gonna lie, it pissed me off. I am gonna put this one in unrealistic because it's not real. Like, I want to put in deserved, to be honest, because it pissed me off the lead up to the actual accident, but I'm going to put it in exaggerated / unrealistic, preferably the unrealistic part, because she would have seen the vodka dripping out of the mug onto the thing. And then also the fact that she's using like the tea towel, she puts it on the knife block. Like, it pissed me off. I want to put it in deserved really bad. I just really want to know that. And put it in unrealistic. I might move her depending on how pissed off I get on everyone else in here. Next one. The next death we have is Billy Hitchcock, who gets taken out by the train. Yeah, I immediately, it's going in just mean. It really was. Bless him. Bless him. And then we have, I think people would agree with this one. We have Carter, who gets taken out. We don't particularly see it, but it's the last frame of the movie. It's Carter gets smashed by the sign falling in Paris, and he is immediately going in deserved. He got on my tits in that movie. Now this tier list also has Alex's death, because however, we don't see Alex's death because it's just spoken about in Final Destination 2 that he got killed by a brick in front of clear waters, and I cannot get over that that's her name. I want to put it in CGI slot because I hate it, but I will just put it in unnecessary because it was unnecessary. So it was unnecessary to kill him off, but it was also unnecessary to do it off camera and none of us knew about it. It's just like offhandedly spoken about. Now we go into Final Destination 2. Immediately we have Route 23. This is obviously going in trauma. It's going to go in front of Flight 180 because, as we all know, one of the most known scenes in cinema, I'll go as far as to say, is from Final Destination 2, and it's the log truck scene. Like, you do not have to have watched Final Destination 2 to know to never drive behind a log truck. So 100%, that scene traumatized a generation, multiple generations, I think. You will find no millennial or old Gen Z driving behind a fucking log truck because of that movie. Oh my god. Now the first death of Final Destination 2 is what's his name? Evan. It's the guy that won the lottery. That scene, same with the teacher from 1, pissed me off. I think I'm going to put him with the teacher, this guy. He goes to microwave leftover noodles, I guess, from the night before, and a magnet from the fridge drops in it, and it's like bright green, I think, if I remember this correctly, the magnet is, and he puts the noodle in the microwave and turns it on. I'm like, you couldn't see that bright green thing. It's like, like, I don't know, is it the fact that I'm a woman? I just pay attention to my surroundings, and these people clearly don't. He gets out the fire escape, he jumps down, well, immediately at the beginning of the scene, he throws old spaghetti out the window. Don't get me started. Yep, throws old spaghetti out the window. His entire apartment goes up in fire. He somehow escapes out the fire exit. What's it called? The fire exit? What's it called? The fire escape. Gets down, escapes that, then gets on the floor, gets on the ground, and slips in the spaghetti, lands on his back, and the ladder of the fire escape goes through his head. So yeah, like, a part of me, listen, him and the teacher from 1, a part of me wants to put it in deserved, and they might be moving, but I'm going to put them in unrealistic, because they should have had eyes. They should have been paying attention. The next one, the next death we have in Final Destination 2 is Tim, the boy, the teenage boy, and we'll say the dentist scene, because everyone's like, oh no, because it's the second everyone realises it's a dentist scene, and everyone's terrified of the dentist, so, and there's a lot of like fake outs in that scene, and it's so good at creating tension. Because we're all like, he's gonna die in the dentist. And he sees pigeons on the floor and goes, birdies! And jumps at them to scare them off. And he gets crushed to death by a glass panel. I think it's the same as Terry. I think it's comedy. But you know what I mean? It's comedic. Like, she got hit by a bus, he got crushed to death. It's funny. Oh, people are going to be mad at me. The next death in Final Destination 2 is Tim's mother, Nora. Now, this scene, like, oh my god. It's the elevator scene where there's a pervert, let's call it what it is, there's a f***ing pervert in the elevator with them, and if the pervert wasn't there, we would have had a lovely day, I think. If the pervert wasn't a pervert, we all would have survived, I think. Who sniffs her hair and she's paranoid, and then she gets the call saying a man with hooks is going to kill you. And he's like holding a basket of doll hands or something. And some of them have hooks. And it hooks onto the back of her hair, and she starts screaming, freaking out. She runs out the elevator door, but she's still stuck. And yeah. And again, I think this one was mean. Like, I'm gonna put that one in just mean. It was, because she gets decapitated. It's a lot, just because of a pervert. The pervert should have got decapitated, that's my opinion. She should have shoved him in between the doors. There we are. Next one we have is Kat, is that her name? Kat Jennings, and she is the one, she's in the car when they crash, and she's stuck, like they're trying to cut her out of the car, and they hit something, and the airbag goes off, and she gets like a fucking, what is it? She gets like a not a tree trunk, but you know what I mean, she gets it through the head. I think it's also in the same realm as comedy. Do you know what I mean? It's at the end of comedy. Do you know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, like, it's shocking. Yeah, that's what comedy tier is. It's like, oh, that was quick. It's one of those. That's what that tier is for. And then the next person it's the same scene actually. It's Rory, who gets like, he gets sliced by a wire fence in this scene. I think that one is unrealistic a bit, because it's like, okay, that one, unrealistic, let's be honest. I'm gonna put it at the end of unrealistic. It's a lot. It was like, whoa, where did that come from? The next one on this list is Eugene, who is in the hospital room, and all the oxygen gets taken out of the room, and the room explodes, and he burns to death because Clear Waters opens the door to the room, and so they both burn. Now, Eugene, I think, was mean for him. Clear Waters, I think, was comedy. I'm gonna put it at the end of comedy, because it was like, oh, Because it's like the shock of it, and it's so sudden. You're like, well, she fucking survived for no reason, didn't she? And then the final death of Final Destination 2 is Brian, the teenager, who it's the final scene of the movie, and he explodes while doing the barbecue, and then his arm lands on his mother's plate. Again, that's what I mean, comedy. That one is comedy. Okay, so now getting into my favourite Final Destination movie, and it's Final Destination 3, and immediately we have the Premonition, which is the roller coaster on Devil's Flight. I think it's going to have a lot of us. I think it's going to go on trauma, 100%. The first death, Final Destination 3, in my opinion, is something that needs to be shown in schools to teenagers and kids, which is the Ashley and Ashlyn sunbed death. I grew up a bit too educated on the big C, do you know what I mean? So I have never understood the appeal of sunbeds. I know you're like, yeah, no shit, you are the colour of a dead Victorian ghost. I would rather be pale. Now, I am aware my natural colour is a Victorian ghost, but I've never understood the appeal of sunbeds. Never. When I was a kid, never understood it. Still to this day, don't understand it. Another thing, don't understand the need for sunbeds when fake tan exists. Now listen, when I was a teenager, I was a fake tan fiend. I was always wearing fake tan, and then it just got to a point where I was like, I don't care. I don't know, maybe my frontal lobe fully developed. I don't know. But I was like, I don't care. Like, if I've been sunbathing, sure. But if it's like, I cannot. I don't have the patience to use fake tan. I don't have it anymore. Do you know what I mean? I find if it's a case of like I've been sunbathing and I've caught tan, that's fine. But I've truly never understood the thing about sunbeds. Never understood the appeal. Never will. You can't pay me to get in a sunbed. And then Final Destination 3 came out. But I remember like watching Final Destination 3 and being like, yeah, like already you couldn't pay me to go on a sunbed. You couldn't. You absolutely could not. You absolutely could not pay me to go on a sunbed. Like, even when I was a kid, I was like, you're paying to get in a hot coffin. You're paying to get in a hot coffin that is going to up your chances of getting cancer by so much. And you are also, for like people who start doing them so young, it ages you insane. You are going, it's why like most people age horribly. I'm going to say it. Like, you just turned 30 and you could pass for 60. It's bad. Like, it's why a lot of people age so fast. So in my opinion, I think Final Destination 3, the sunbed scene, should be shown in schools because it's educational, in my opinion. But yeah, 100%. Arguably, would you guys say, leave it down in the comments, would you guys say that the sunbed scene, the sunbed death scene, is the most traumatizing of all the deaths in the franchise? In my opinion, Jesus. Also, the transition between the sunbeds being aflame and then it transitions into the coffins in the ground. Ooh, sick. It's one of the best transitions in cinema. The next death in Final Destination 3 is Frankie Cheeks. I'm immediately going in deserved. I don't have to think about this. It's the drive-through scene. Again, another pervert. Then we have Lewis, which is the gym scene with the weightlift. I'm going to put him at the end of comedy. Do you know what I mean? I think people are going to get pissed that me have called this tier comedy and I'm laughing at it. Don't start. I'm like, I want to put that one in exaggerated / unrealistic, but it is also a bit of comedy. That's the thing. I think this one is at the end of comedy, beginning of exaggerated / unrealistic, but I'm going to put it at the end of comedy because it's the wow factor, because he's literally celebrating the wow factor. That's not what I mean. It's like the suddenness of it, because he's literally celebrating that he didn't die and then he dies. So we have Aaron, who gets taken out by the nail gun. That one was unnecessary. She didn't do anything. I think, that nail, it's a lot. The nail gun scene, horrific. Unnecessary just means same to the next death, which is, what's her name? Perry. It's the little sister's friend that was on the roller coaster with her, and she gets, she gets turned into a human kebab at the state fair, whatever it is. Again, unnecessary, and just mean she didn't even have a speech. She didn't say a word in this movie that happened. So, yep. And then obviously we have Ian McKinley, who gets splattered, who gets squished to death at the fair again. I put him in deserved. He was a lot. Yeah, he was a lot. I know he went like off the, you know, he did watch his girlfriend die in front of him, so he did kind of lose his mind after that, but he was a nuisance. We have, what's her name, Julie, that's her name, the little sister, when they're on, the three of them are on the train. We have Julie, who gets, does she get decapitated? I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, we'll have to find out. She loses her head on the train. I'm going to put it in mean. That was definitely mean. I'm going to put it in front of Alex for now. Then we have Kevin, who, like, he falls out the window, but the train is falling and he gets, like, smushed against, like, his body. Yeah. I think that also goes with Julie was a bit mean. It was mean, let's be honest. And then we have Wendy, who gets hit by a train. Yeah. Just mean. Yeah, just mean. She's gonna go there, 100%. So now we are on to, in my opinion, maybe the worst of all the Final Destination movies. I don't think it's my opinion, I think this is everyone's opinion as well, is Final Destination 4, which is, and immediately we have is it McKinley? Yeah. The Speedway. The premonition of the racetrack in itself in exaggerated / unrealistic. Okay, so the first death is, what's her name? Nadia, they get outside of the track and she gets killed by a flying wheel. Funny. This is what I mean, funny. That was funny, and I don't get what it is. The next one we have is Carter. I believe, if I remember this correctly, he's the racist guy. If I'm wrong, he gets crushed. No, he doesn't, does he? He gets, like, dismembered by a truck explosion. I'm gonna put him in deserved. I'm gonna put Ian after him. You can go in front of Ian. He was the racist guy, wasn't he? Well, the next death we have Samantha, who is it's the hairdresser scene. It's such a good scene. And she gets killed by a flying stone that goes through her eye. I'm not gonna lie, a bit traumatic. I don't know, it's a bit traumatic, but it's also a bit funny. I don't know, I'm gonna put it in exaggerated / unrealistic. The next one we have is Andy, and it's the garage scene, and he gets, like, crushed into the metal fence. This one is a bit of CGI slop, let's be honest. This one is a bit CGI slop. The next one we have is Hunt. What's his name? He's the guy that goes swimming for his penny. Is that what it is? It's Lucky Penny, and he goes into the pool, and he swims down to his pool. And he swims down to the pool, and he gets sucked into the pool. Like, that one is exaggerated / unrealistic, but it is a bit traumatizing. That one was a bit traumatizing. I might put him at the beginning of exaggerated / unrealistic. It's a lot, that one is. Next one is Jonathan, who gets crushed by the bathtub. Funny. That one's funny. He's in the hospital and he gets crushed by a bathtub. Funny. We have the premonition at the theatre, at the cinema. Traumatizing. That one was traumatizing. The premonition with the fucking escalator. One thing about me, I don't like escalators. I don't know what it is. I can go up an escalator. I can't go down on an escalator. I don't know why. I fully have a panic attack at the top of an escalator. Always have. Don't know what it is. I'd take the stairs. I'll take the stairs. We have is George, who gets hit by an ambulance. Again, it's the same as Terry. It's funny. And then we have Janet, who I prefer the premonition of how they died in the theatre, but the way the ending of Final Destination of this Final Destination is the three of them are in a cafe and a truck comes through the window and kills them. I just don't care for their death, so I'm gonna put it in CGI slop, all three of them, because going on to the next Final Destination movie, we have the premonition that starts it, which is the North Bay Bridge premonition. Traumatizing, I would say. Nothing at the end. Immediately, first death in this movie, I think between the sunbed scene, the log truck scene, and the gymnastics scene, I think those are the ones, do you know what I mean? What's her name? Candace. Yeah, she's gone high. She's gone fucking high on the trauma one. Oh, that entire scene, the build up, the screw that's on the balance beam and it doesn't get her. So the entire time you're watching it, your heart's in your throat. She's like, oh my gosh, it's gonna go through her, and then it doesn't, and then it goes through the other girl's foot. Oh, the next one we have is Isaac, who dies with the acupuncture needles. Well, no, not really. Sets a fire, he lands on his front where he's got the acupuncture needles in him. He falls on his front, they fuck him up a bit, and then he gets his head crushed by a Buddha. As I said, funny. That one, funny. Also a bit deserved, because I think he is a bit of a pervert, that one as well. Then the next one on this list is Olivia, who is the girl that's getting laser eye treatment. Yeah, yep. Never. Listen, I wear glasses. No. I wear glasses. I will never get laser eye treatment because this movie. 100% fucking traumatizing that one is. I'm gonna put it after Flight 180 for now, but I am gonna move them around, as I said. That scene, oh my god, no, you couldn't pay me. The next one we have is Roy, who's the worker in the factory that he's having the fight, and he kind of pushes him, and then he dies, and he has a hook going through his head. It's a lot. I think that one was unnecessary. That one was. We're gonna put him in unnecessary because he wasn't involved. What's his name? Dennis. He gets a flying wrench to the head. I'm gonna put him in end of comedy because it was slightly funny. Peter, his was deserved. He was trying to kill everyone. So, and then you have one of the arguably maybe one of the best plot twists in cinema that happens at the end of this movie, which is the reveal that this movie takes place before the original Final Destination, because Sam and Molly are on Flight 180 and witness Clear Waters and all of her friends get kicked off the plane. So them two dead in Flight 180. I want to put them both in comedy because I think it's funny that they were on Flight 180. I'm gonna put Molly. She does get she does get sucked out the window. So I'm gonna put Molly in unnecessary and just mean. And then I'm also gonna put Sam in there as well, the guy that has the premonitions, because it is just after going through all that, and they're just on Flight 180. Oh my god. The final death of that movie is Nathan, who gets crushed by a piece of plane debris because apparently Roy was ill and he only had a couple months to live. That's funny. Skyview, I'm gonna put in trauma. It was bad. I'm not good with heights. It was bad. Okay, so we have Iris. I think it was unnecessary. Iris, unnecessary, I will say. I think it was mean. It was mean. It was unnecessary. But she needed to make, Stephanie see that it was true. But it was a lot. The pole comes flying out her head. It's a lot. The next one we have is Howard with the lawnmower. Howard with the lawnmower. I am going to go exaggerated. I'm gonna put it in exaggerated / unrealistic, but because who has a lawnmower that powerful? That's my question. Because his fucking face turns into a blender. We have Julia. Now, I called that scene was gonna happen with the what do you call them? The bin men with the bin van, the trash can, the dumpster. I don't know what you call them in America. Yeah, I will say unnecessary. That one was a lot. That one a lot. I'm gonna put Eric. Yeah, alright. She's saying, it's funny how it starts because like every piercing on his body gets ripped off. Gonna be honest, I'm gonna put in trauma because, oof, it was a lot. Yeah, Bobby. I think, okay, listen, we can put Bobby as well because they both die in the MRI. Bobby. I think Bobby's was mean. The fact that he dies by vending machine spring. Oh my god. Darlene, which is the mother. That was comedy. Because you're like, oh, because, you know, she gets crushed to death. Oh, and then we have Stephanie and Charlie, who both get killed by log trucks. It's literally at the last second of the movie, which threw me off so bad. I didn't realise the movie was going to end right there. I thought we were, like, going to go to the prom, and we were going to have a premonition about what happens at the prom, and then a bunch of other, like, bunch of kids get killed, and then we have to look after, then we have to like stop all those kids getting killed. I thought it was like gonna go on like Iris, and then she, like, Stephanie has to protect those kids, like her brother's friends, like like how Iris did, you know. I thought that's what was gonna happen. Yeah, so it caught me off guard, but my god, it's funny. I'm gonna put the comedy because it caught me so off guard, and the fact that they die by logs. Don't. It's kind of funny. Okay, so here we have the tier list. Now I'm going to go through them and order them in how I really feel about them. But yeah, I think this is my finished tier list ranking of all of the accidents of the Final Destination franchise. I think I've may or may not have pissed off some people with this tier list, so please comment down below what your official ranking is of some of the deaths in this franchise. Glad that I can just do this just to like talk about some of the movies and some things I hate about the movies and some things I like. But yeah, I think this is my finished tier list. And if you guys have any opinions about where I've put certain people, and you think, or if you think one of these deaths that I haven't put in the trauma tier is traumatic, please comment down below. I'd love to know, because I know there are some things, you know, some things people take, you know, there may be some of the deaths in Final Destination that you guys found traumatizing and I didn't, so so yeah, comment them down below. I would love to know your guys' opinions about the Final Destination movies. If you did like this video, please like and subscribe, and comment down below what is your official ranking of the Final Destination movies, including Bloodlines, if you have seen it, because I loved Bloodlines. But I will see you guys in my